Shockwaves spread across the Middle East when Iran announced that it had launched a coordinated strike targeting multiple Israeli airfields, marking one of the most serious escalations in the ongoing regional standoff. Iranian military forces claimed they had carried out a precision attack on key Israeli airfield infrastructure, striking runways, fuel depots, and command facilities in what they described as a decisive and calculated operation. According to Iranian state media, the strike was not symbolic. It was designed to directly weaken Israel's aerial combat readiness and send a message that no strategic asset was beyond reach. Iranian state television reported that multiple missiles and drone units were deployed simultaneously, overwhelming defensive systems and successfully hitting designated targets across several locations. Military commanders, speaking through official channels, described the operation as a turning point, suggesting that the balance of power in the region had begun to shift. Statements released by Iranian military spokesmen suggested that this was only the beginning of a broader strategic campaign aimed at redefining deterrence in the region. Before we go deeper into what Iran claims happened, how the attack unfolded, and what Israel is now saying about the damage, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss the latest updates on the most dramatic geopolitical developments happening around the world. According to Iranian officials, the operation targeting Israeli airfields was carried out using a combination of precision-guided ballistic missiles and long-range unmanned aerial vehicles. Iranian military commanders described the strike as a multi-phase assault, with initial drone waves designed to distract and saturate Israeli air defenses, followed by high-speed missile strikes aimed at critical infrastructure. According to Iranian state television, dozens of projectiles were launched in a tightly coordinated sequence, maximizing the likelihood of successful impact. Iranian state media reported that the strike specifically targeted runways used by advanced fighter jets, fuel storage facilities essential for sustained air operations, and radar installations responsible for early warning and interception coordination. Military spokesmen claimed that several runways were rendered temporarily unusable, while fuel depots suffered significant damage, potentially limiting Israel's ability to launch rapid response air missions. Statements released by Iranian commanders suggested that command and control centers were also within the strike zone, raising questions about communication disruptions during the attack. According to Iranian officials, the strike was carried out as a direct response to what they described as ongoing provocations and strategic pressure from Israel in the region. Iranian military leaders framed the operation as both retaliation and deterrence, emphasizing that it was intended to demonstrate capability rather than provoke full-scale war. Iranian state television reported that the leadership viewed the strike as a measured but firm response, signaling that future actions could be even more extensive if tensions continued to escalate. The symbolic meaning of the strike was emphasized repeatedly across Iranian media channels. According to statements broadcast on Iranian state television, targeting Israeli airfields represented a shift from indirect confrontation to direct pressure on military infrastructure. Military commanders described the strike as proof that even heavily defended and strategically critical locations could be reached. As the narrative continued to unfold, Iranian officials suggested that this operation had fundamentally altered the strategic equation, a claim that immediately raised the stakes across the region. The importance of Israeli airfields cannot be overstated. These installations form the backbone of Israel's military power, enabling rapid deployment, surveillance, and precision strike capabilities across multiple theaters. Located across key regions of the country, these airfields host advanced fighter aircraft, intelligence units, and logistical support systems that are critical to maintaining operational readiness. According to regional analysts speaking to international media, several of the targeted airfields are believed to house some of Israel's most advanced aerial platforms, including multi-role fighter jets capable of long-range missions. These bases are not only launch points for defensive operations, but also serve as command hubs coordinating airspace monitoring and response strategies. Military experts have long pointed out that any disruption to these facilities could have immediate operational consequences, even if temporary. Statements released by defense analysts suggested that these airfields are deeply integrated into Israel's broader defense network, linking radar systems, missile defense platforms, and intelligence gathering units into a cohesive structure. According to military observers, the ability to quickly mobilize air assets is central to Israel's security doctrine, making these locations particularly sensitive during times of heightened tension. Military analysts have long warned that Israeli airfields would be among Iran's first targets in any escalation scenario. According to security experts, disabling or even temporarily disrupting these facilities could slow response times and create strategic uncertainty. The importance of these targets lies not only in their physical infrastructure, but also in their role as symbols of military strength, making them both practical and psychological objectives in any confrontation. Before we continue with how Israel has responded to these claims and what analysts are saying about what really happened, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss the latest updates on the most dramatic geopolitical developments happening around the world. Then Israel began to respond. Israeli defense officials confirmed that projectiles had been launched toward multiple airfield locations. However, their description of the event differed sharply from the Iranian narrative. According to Israeli military sources, air defense systems were activated immediately upon detection, intercepting a significant portion of incoming threats before they could reach their intended targets. Statements released by the Israeli Defense Ministry suggested that while some debris and fragments fell within the vicinity of certain bases, the overall impact was limited. According to Israeli officials, key infrastructure remained intact and operations continued without major disruption. Pentagon sources familiar with regional developments also confirmed that monitoring systems had tracked the launches, noting that defensive measures played a critical role in mitigating damage. Israeli military spokesman emphasized that all affected airfields remained operational, a claim that directly challenges the Iranian assertion of significant damage. According to defense officials, rapid response teams were deployed to assess and repair any minor impacts, ensuring that readiness levels were maintained. Statements released through official channels suggested that the situation was under control and that there was no compromise to national security. This stark difference between the two narratives immediately sparked debate across the global security community. On one side, Iran was portraying the strike as a decisive blow against Israel's military infrastructure. On the other side, Israel was insisting that its defenses had successfully neutralized the threat and preserved operational capability. The credibility gap between these accounts quickly became the central focus of international attention. Military analysts immediately began assessing what this development could mean for the broader regional dynamic. According to regional experts speaking to international media, the strike represents a significant moment in the escalation ladder, moving the confrontation closer to direct engagement between major actors. Analysts noted that even limited strikes on critical infrastructure can carry outsized strategic implications, particularly when they involve high-value targets like airfields. According to defense analysts, the competing narratives themselves are part of a broader strategic communication effort. Iran, by emphasizing the scale and success of the strike, reinforces its deterrence posture and signals capability to both allies and adversaries. Israel, by minimizing the impact and highlighting operational continuity, seeks to maintain confidence in its defense systems and avoid projecting vulnerability. The potential for escalation remains a key concern. According to military observers, incidents involving direct strikes on strategic assets can trigger cycles of retaliation, with each side seeking to reassert dominance. Regional analysts suggested that diplomatic channels may now come under increased pressure as international actors attempt to prevent further escalation. Statements from global organizations have already called for restraint, emphasizing the risks of miscalculation. Economic implications are also beginning to surface. According to financial analysts, tensions involving key Middle Eastern actors often have immediate effects on global oil markets, with uncertainty driving price volatility. The importance of stability in the region cannot be overstated, particularly given its role in global energy supply chains. Whether this situation escalates further or efforts to contain it succeed remains uncertain. What is clear is that the competing narratives are shaping perception as much as the events themselves, creating a complex information environment where truth and strategy intersect. Iran claims it delivered a precise and impactful strike that disrupted Israel's airfield operations and demonstrated a new level of military reach. Israel insists that its defenses held firm, that the damage was limited, and that all critical assets remain fully operational. Between those two narratives lies a complex reality that continues to unfold in real time. Some experts warn that incidents like this can easily spiral into broader confrontation, especially when both sides feel compelled to reinforce their positions. Others believe that strategic restraint and international pressure may help contain the escalation, preventing a wider conflict from emerging. According to regional analysts, the next moves by both sides will be critical in determining the trajectory of the situation. What is clear is that this event has already become one of the most dramatic moments in the unfolding tension between Iran and Israel. The implications extend far beyond the immediate damage, touching on deterrence, perception, and the fragile balance of power in the region. The world watches closely as new information continues to emerge and as both sides navigate the consequences of this high-stakes confrontation. Stay tuned for further updates as this developing story continues to reshape the geopolitical landscape of the region.